when we study the charts or technical analysis, right? When we are observing on the companies regarding the technical strength of the companies, what you do is we analyze the chart or we analyze the company in terms of price and volume. So normally we observe, so you have a candlestick chart, you have a line chart, you have a bar chart, and apart from that, you have a Hi Kanashi chart, right? So if you wanted to know the trend of a stock, normally Hi Kanashi is one chart which will help you to observe that. And candlestick will give you day by day. And every day, the movement in terms of either a positive or a negative day, it will be depicting. But a Hi Kanashi is something as it checks the entire strength of the last few days also, it will tell you the pattern, right? So why we are discussing about Hi Kanashi, this can be applied below the daily time frame, right? So what will happen when it is below the daily time frame during intraday positions, or you are tracking a company which is building up a lot of strength, and you know that it will either fall on a day or it will go very high on a day. This chart will give you a brief on that, right? Let me show you in terms of a chart, right? In terms of a chart. So as I have loaded Nifty 50, the benchmark on the screen, yes. So as you hover your mouse here, you can observe in bars, right? So I'm observing Nifty 50 in terms of bars. This is how the price movement is happening. And this bar will tell you your open, your closing price. Apart from that, candles. This is what we normally do, right? By default, we observe every chart on candles, which is the Japanese version, right? Which is the Japanese version. Apart from that, we observe in Hi Kanashi, right? So Hi Kanashi is not an indicator. Hi Kanashi is one of the chart, right? So here, if you see, during this entire period, right? During this entire period, when the momentum has been positive, you get your green candles. And this is suggesting that yes, from almost around 27th June till 20th July, right? 20th July, it's a clear positive momentum. It's a clear bullish market, except for one day where it has turned to red. Throughout this entire period, it has been positive. And if you come back to your candles, right, during the same period, whenever there is a negative day also, it will just capture as red. So what I want you to differentiate between both of them is candlestick chart will give you the ups and down, right? So whether it is a positive day or a negative day, it will show you in terms of your chart. Red chart for a negative day and green candle is for a positive day. Whereas Hi Kanashi will tell you the momentum in the stock, right? Will tell you the momentum in the stock or index, right? It applies to everything. It can be a bank Nifty, it can be Nifty, and it can be any specific stock also, right? It can be any specific stock also. Now, the interesting part is, right? The interesting part, sir, I've been observing a stock or I've been observing a company wherein I see a great momentum in the stock, wherein on this particular day, because of a news, maybe a defense company, because of some news, we see a spike. And EV related companies or even a pharma related company where there is an important announcement in the news that will benefit the company. So those kind of a stocks, to analyze the pattern, what you can do, this is for intraday, right? This is not for a positional investor or a long-term investor. Someone who is playing on the intraday level, you go to your time frame, right? Time frame. Generally, whoever are beginners or whoever are just starting their learning curve, I would always suggest start your analysis with daily weekly and monthly time frame, right? Normally daily time frame is something you need to watch out very closely. Don't go below daily, because below daily, if you are going, that reflects more volatility, right? More volatility. But yes, for all the members who are doing intraday or who are having that higher risk, right? Higher risk. When you look at in a lower time frame, yes, hourly chart you can go, or into a minutes chart, right? Minutes chart. So if I see into a hourly time frame, right? If I see into a hourly time frame, you get hour by hour the candles. Let us take Adani Power, right? Just for an example, let's take Adani Power Limited. Yeah. So Adani Power, if you see, before going to hourly chart, I'm looking at a daily chart, right? And I'm just loading my candles, right? Candlestick chart, right? Candlestick. So a normal candlestick chart will tell you the entire momentum. If everyone remember, and yes, if you are in the community, we have had a detailed session in one of our Friday weekly mastermind session about Hindenburg, right? The kind of a discussion happened. I mean, the kind of a conflict between Hindenburg or Adani as a group, right, has resulted in the fall of entire Adani stocks. And yes, when Adani Power has fallen down from January onwards because of the Hindenburg report, it has had a lot of pain. And now if you see, almost around 8 months breakout Adani Power is at, right? Yeah. At around 284 levels, it is almost at a 8 months breakout. And now if you see, there is a small momentum that is coming, and this is what your normal candlestick analysis will tell you. And yes, the volumes, right? Yeah, if you see here, this is your price movements and this is your volume, right? Volume has been decently increasing, right? And we will be observing the follow through days, how the remaining volumes will come in. But yes, the volumes say something more. And yes, this is a kind of a good breakout. As I have had this information, or yes, I am observing on this, right? I'm observing on this. What I will do, I'll go to my Hi Kanashi, and yes, what is Hi Kanashi telling you? Hi Kanashi is telling you almost from 25th July, we are on 21st August, almost in a 1 month, Adani Power is looking good. I hope, I want you to shift between two windows. Normal candlestick, which will give the daily movement ups and lows. Hi Kanashi is giving me the trend, right? If anytime you load Hi Kanashi, your main purpose is I am looking at the trend of the stock, right? Trend of the stock. The advantage of Hi Kanashi is it will tell you the trend. The disadvantage of Hi Kanashi is it will not tell you the interim falling days. Whenever it has fallen, see, during these days, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, almost 8 days, it is a negative day. You have your red candles. Whereas if you go back to Hi Kanashi will not tell you that, right? It just gives you the trend. Hi Kanashi trend. Similarly, during the Hindenburg, many members, sir, yes, as the stock is falling, right? As the stock is falling, should I average it? Should I buy in low when the stock is falling down? Throughout your entire investments, right? Throughout your entire investments or trading this entire period, remember only 3 words in your journey. Even write it down, bookmark it, laminate it, write it down on your wall, whatever it is. The important 3 words to avoid 90% of your losses is never average down. I repeat, throughout your entire journey, 3 important words. If you remember, 90% of your losses in your portfolio or 90% of losses can be avoided, which is never average down. The game is all about exiting losing stocks ASAP, as soon as possible, and any winning positions or winning stocks we need to keep increasing, right? If you're able to cut down your losers as early as possible, 90% of your work is done, right? So see, during this fall, when Adani Power is falling because of the Hindenburg report, there are people who average. But if you are following it on a Hi Kanashi is clearly telling you that the trend is completely negative, right? It is bearish. So you should not even think about entering into it almost from 20th Jan till around 15th, 16th February, right? This is the power of Hi Kanashi, right? As you have understood, now if you go back to 1 hour chart, right? 1 hour chart, yes, on the last traded session on 18th August, right? Starting, it has opened very well, the candle. And yes, this is a very good built up wherein it has a very good move, right? Yeah, as you observe, yes, throughout the entire day. And this is something which will help the intraday investors also to be in it. As I told, intraday is not for everyone. If you're a beginner, follow it in daily chart, that's fine, right? So this will give you a implication. Similarly, you can follow whichever company you have been tracking, right? Whichever company you have been tracking. ACC Limited, yes, after a very significant drop, right? It's starting a small pullback, right? A small pullback. Even on a hourly chart, it's fine. And even you can look at a 30 minutes candle, right? A 30 minutes time frame, which will tell you the significance of movement here, right? Significance of movement, right? So maybe let's look at GRSC, right? Garden Reach, which is one of the defense related company. After Mr. Narendra Modi's announcement on defense related sector, right? I'm just giving you a few examples. Any sector, any stock which you are following up, to just analyze the trend in it, you can take help of Hi Kanashi, or you can use Hi Kanashi chart here, right? So Hi Kanashi, yes, has clearly reflected last week Monday that yes, it's a positive. Every 30 minutes candle is very strong. So even on a intraday, it gives you a very strong inclination. And yes, when the reversal starts, or when the candle turns red and it is flat or it is falling down, that is a reflection that yes, there is weakness or there are sellers. So you can start exiting your position, right? Exiting your position. So this Hi Kanashi, apply it below daily time frame. It works wonderfully on daily as well as weekly time frame, right? Up to weekly, you can explore on Hi Kanashi. I would normally do not recommend on a monthly chart, right? No, Hi Kanashi should be applied below the daily time frame or daily and weekly, not on monthly, right? Not on monthly. And even if you see the power of Hi Kanashi on a weekly, even if you are a swing trader or a long-term investor, Hi Kanashi has clearly given you an information from July 2022 onwards also. GRSC has been in a very strong momentum, right? How is the trend? Trend has been positive, right? Check it for Mesogon, right? Or even any company which you are following, right? Sir, yes, I have been following Varun Beverages, or even Varun Beverages is in my portfolio, or even ITC is in my portfolio, right? Check how has been the trend, right? How has been the trend? Yeah. Yes. And one clear indication for everyone is, if you are a beginner or a conservative, weekly and daily is sufficient for you. Don't go below the daily time frame if you are just starting your learning, because below daily you have a lot of volatility, and until and unless you have your exit rules, it will be difficult for you to coming out. But yes, for a learning purpose, keep analyzing, right? Keep analyzing on this. Okay.